Maybe you know. Science meets the questions you never thought to ask. An octopus has 9 brains. It has 3 hearts. Its blood is blue. It can taste with its suckers, change color in less than a second, escape locked tanks, recognize individual human faces, and possibly experience emotions humans do not have words for. And here is the most disturbing part. The octopus is not a freak of nature. It is what intelligence might look like when it evolves on a completely separate branch from us. 600 million years ago, our shared ancestor was a tiny worm. Everything between you and an octopus has evolved differently since then, including the brain. Let's start with the 9 brains. The octopus has one central brain in its head, which is what you would expect. But that central brain controls only about a third of its neurons. The other 2/3, around 300 million neurons, are distributed across its 8 arms. Each arm has its own miniature brain called a ganglion. These arm brains can think independently. If a marine biologist cuts off an octopus arm, the arm will continue to crawl, taste food, and recoil from danger for up to 30 minutes after being separated. It is not a reflex. The arm is processing the world by itself. Each of the 8 arms can solve problems, navigate around obstacles, and make decisions without consulting the central brain. The central brain mostly oversees, like a manager who delegates 80% of the work to autonomous teams. No vertebrate works like this. Your brain is a pyramid. An octopus brain is a network. The 3 hearts is just as strange. 2 of the hearts pump blood through the gills. The 3rd pumps blood through the rest of the body. And here is the bizarre part. When an octopus swims, the 3rd heart, the systemic heart, stops beating entirely. So octopuses prefer to crawl. Swimming exhausts them not because of muscle fatigue, but because their main heart literally pauses while they do it. Their blood is also unlike yours. Octopus blood does not contain hemoglobin. It contains hemocyanin, a copper-based protein. Iron makes our blood red. Copper makes their blood blue. Hemocyanin is much better at carrying oxygen in cold, low-oxygen water, which is why octopuses thrive in deep oceans where most animals would suffocate. They are walking, thinking, color-shifting machines built on a completely different chemistry than anything you have ever met. In 1992, a marine biologist named Jennifer Mather was studying octopuses at the Seattle Aquarium. She noticed an octopus named Lucretia using a coconut shell. The octopus would carry the shell halves around with her, then assemble them into a hiding shelter when she felt threatened. She used the shells like a tool. This was the first documented case of tool use by an invertebrate. Tool use was supposed to be a hallmark of higher intelligence, restricted to primates, dolphins, and a few birds. The octopus, an invertebrate that evolved on a completely separate path from mammals, had figured out tools independently. Mather went on to document octopuses solving puzzles, escaping tanks by unscrewing lids from the inside, recognizing individual humans by sight, and exhibiting what she calls personality. Some octopuses are shy. Some are bold. Some are mischievous. Same species. Different individuals. Different personalities. Like dogs. Like people. Like us. Now here's the twist that breaks everything. Octopuses are colorblind. Their eyes contain only one type of photoreceptor. They literally cannot perceive color the way humans can. And yet, when an octopus needs to camouflage on a coral reef full of color, it matches the colors perfectly. Researchers were baffled for decades. How can a colorblind animal mimic colors it cannot see? In 2015, scientists at the University of California, Santa Barbara figured it out. Octopuses can see with their skin. Their skin contains the same opsin proteins that are in their eyes. The skin is photosensitive. The skin can detect color directly without sending the information to the brain. Each octopus is essentially covered in eyes. The skin sees, processes, and responds to its surroundings on its own. Imagine if your shoulder could detect that your shirt was red without telling your brain. That is what an octopus is doing all over its body every second. The tasting is just as strange. The suckers on an octopus arm are not just for grip. Each sucker contains around 10,000 chemoreceptors. Chemoreceptors are like taste buds, but more sensitive. So an octopus literally tastes everything it touches. When an octopus reaches into a hole, it is not just feeling. It is tasting whether what is inside is food, predator, or shelter. Its arms are simultaneously eyes, hands, and tongues. In 2023, neuroscientists at Harvard University used genetic engineering to map the chemoreceptors of an octopus arm. They found receptors that detect compounds humans cannot detect at all. Some receptors trigger only when the octopus touches a specific chemical given off by stressed prey. The octopus can taste fear. Literally, when prey panics, it releases certain compounds. Those compounds bind to specific octopus arm chemoreceptors. The arm tastes the panic, and the central brain knows the prey is vulnerable. There is no human equivalent. We do not have a sense like this. But here is the strangest part of all. Most octopuses live for only 1 to 2 years. Almost no octopus species lives longer than 5 years. Despite their tool use, problem-solving, color-shifting, and personality, octopuses die young. And they die in a particular way. Female octopuses lay eggs and then stop eating to guard them. They starve themselves to death over weeks while protecting their offspring. Once the eggs hatch, the mother dies. This is genetically programmed. In 2022, biologists at the University of Washington found that the trigger is a hormone released from a small organ called the optic gland. They removed the optic gland from one octopus. The octopus stopped the death spiral. It went on to live and feed and continue normal life. But here is the ethical problem. We can extend the life of an octopus by removing its death organ. Should we? An octopus is intelligent enough that prolonging its life raises questions we usually only ask about pets or about ourselves. So, is the octopus conscious? Does it experience subjective reality the way you do right now reading this? In 2012, a group of the world's leading neuroscientists, including Stephen Hawking, signed a document called the Cambridge Declaration on Consciousness. They concluded that octopuses, despite their alien biology, almost certainly have conscious experience. They feel pain. They probably feel something like emotion. They can experience boredom, curiosity, and possibly even play. The Declaration was the first formal scientific statement that consciousness is not unique to mammals or birds. It is something that evolution invented at least twice on Earth, once in vertebrates, once in cephalopods, and the two versions look almost nothing alike. The octopus is the closest thing on Earth to an alien intelligence. It evolved in the ocean. It thinks across 9 semi-independent brains. It tastes the world through its skin, and it sees colors it cannot perceive. We share a planet with another mind, and we are only beginning to understand it. When you next see an octopus at an aquarium, remember this. You're looking at one of the most genuinely alien intelligences ever found on Earth. 600 million years of separate evolution. 9 brains operating semi-independently. Skin that sees. Suckers that taste fear. Blood that is blue. A creature that is genetically programmed to die for its children, that recognizes faces, that uses tools, that has personality. And then look back into its eye, because that octopus is looking back at you, and it is wondering in its own alien way what you are. The octopus has 9 brains, but there is one animal on Earth that has no brain at all, and yet still solves complex mazes, makes decisions, and can navigate. It is called the slime mold, and it might be the strangest intelligence we have ever found. Subscribe, and we will explore how something with no nervous system can outthink some animals with one. Thanks for watching. If this sparked a question, drop in the comments. It might be our next video. We'll see you next time.